Hey guys, it's Ty the TV Guy here, and I am reviewing and giving my thoughts on Season 1 of Squid Games that I just finished. And yes, I know I'm pretty late to the party here. Obviously, Season 2 of Squid Games just released. It's having like the best debut of all time for Netflix, blowing other records out of the water by either Wednesday or Stranger Things. And this time around, it really piqued my interest a bit more. I saw a lot more craze about it online, even though Season 1 was also record-setting. I don't know, I'm just getting like more ads for it now and more of my friends talking about it. And so I decided to dive into it. Even though originally it wasn't really something I was drawn to, something that I thought I'd be that interested in, especially because it's in a different language, at least the original version is. But I didn't know they'd have the dubbed over vocals of all the characters. So that helped me, I think, connect with the characters a lot more, and it made it a more enjoyable experience all around. And so when I saw it was like that, the first episode, I was definitely all the way in from that point on and knew I would watch this entire show. But now I'm going to get into some of my thoughts. Before I do that, if you like Squid Game, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. I make videos, well, I'm going to be making more videos on Squid Games as I watch the second season and give some of my opinions, and I make videos on a lot of other TV shows and movies as well. So Squid Games, obviously super popular show. It needs no introduction at this point. Kind of a battle royale type format, We have all these people competing for one prize, and it's really just the last man standing. So a lot of people in this show had to channel their killer instincts, some more so than others. Some played more tactically, some played more violently. That one bully type character, he was the first one to kill another person in the contest, and then they realized there's no punishment for just, cold-blooded killing. So more people started to do that. Altogether, it was just a really interesting concept, one that I haven't really seen before, at least in a TV show. Like I said, it's kind of like Battle Royale video games, but yeah, all these people just put in this odd circumstance, and having to fight for their lives obviously is going to bring out a lot of emotions. And I was surprised at how gruesome the show is. I didn't know initially. I really had no background on this, so I didn't know it was going to be so gory and gruesome and cutthroat. And it really is, because obviously 465 contestants, I believe, and 464 die, and we see that entire journey. I think, literally see every character die on screen, so it's quite a crazy viewing experience, unlike anything I've ever watched, like I said, but I did really enjoy Season 1 altogether. So I want to talk about the main character, Seong Ji-hun, and sorry if I pronounce any of these names wrong. Obviously, they aren't names of my native language, really. But Seong Ji-hun, I think, is a really good main character. They kind of try to portray him, I think, as a loser at the beginning. And he seems a bit selfish in his lifestyle. Maybe not, like, outright selfish or, obnoxiously selfish. He's not going out and, doing things out of greed or self-interest on a large scale. But the way he lives his life, it kind of takes away from his relationship with his daughter and with his mother. He doesn't really support either one of them in the way that he should be. And so in that way, it's kind of, him serving his own desires and him not really living up to what he should be as a son or a father. And so obviously his well below average financial situation and just life altogether leads him to the Squid Games and to the people seeking him out. And he doesn't, just like many of the other contestants, really know what he's getting himself into. Obviously, he's the show's main character, and I think as time goes on in the show, he does become my favorite character, and obviously I think it's designed for you to root for him in many scenarios, but he's not the only one the show wants you to root for. There's a girl in the show, I believe number 67, I could be wrong though. Like I said, I don't know these names very well because it's just harder to remember them since they're not like of my native language, but that girl was, survived to the last three, and we were definitely rooting for her as well, but unfortunately she died at the hands of Sang-woo. And then, also the Indian guy, I also thought he was, just a really kind person, nice person. It seemed like in his past life, he definitely did things, that weren't the best to provide for his family, because they showed like a couple flashbacks of him and like what he did to his boss, like threw him in that machine. That was kind of crazy. All in all, I liked him, I liked the girl, but I do think Seong Ji-hun was my favorite character as the main character, and he just had the most fully fleshed character arc and journey throughout the entire season. As far as the actual games, I thought they were suspenseful. I thought they were interesting. I thought they were good to, bring out some of the unique talents of the characters, not only like physical talents, but, it kind of showed how some of them are really good with trickery, some are really good with, violence. Some just, have that, killer instinct inside of them that you wouldn't expect out of just these average or mediocre people. And the show definitely sticks to a concept that I like, which is putting ordinary people in an extraordinary circumstance and just see how they react with one another. And, that was on full display here, seeing how some people, I think it really just brings out their true character. And for our main character, it brought out that he's a better and nicer, more forgiving and empathetic person than we may have thought from his introduction in the first episode or two. And for some of the other characters, it really brought out the nastiness, and just how awful some of them are, to be quite honest. And it's an interesting situation because you can't necessarily blame them or hate them for killing each other, I guess, because that is the point of the entire game. It's to willow this large group down until there's only one person standing to get all the prize money. And so everybody except that one person is going to die regardless of whether you kill them with your hands or whether the games eventually kill them. But, at the same time, just the method in which some people did it and, like the heartless nature of some of their actions was quite disturbing to see, especially for that bully and some of his gang, and then just how everyone got really hostile there for a while because, they were worried for their own safety, so they thought the best game plan was to attack others. But yeah, like I said, just that blueprint of putting ordinary people in an extraordinary circumstance, seeing how they react. A lot of them didn't react very well to the adverse circumstances. That was quite crazy to watch on screen. Like I said, I don't know, this is just a new experience for me, seeing this many people die in a show, and this many people that, they're not just random people, right? It's not like a bomb just drops on a city and hundreds or thousands of people die. Like, these are people that, you do get to see on screen at least for a few minutes each. You grow a little bit of a knowing and understanding and connection with them, and then they're gruesomely killed. It's a crazy show, and I see why so many people are attracted to it. Not because it's like cool that all these people are dying, but it's just like insane to watch. So I guess those are my overall thoughts on the plot of the show and on, the main character, Seong Ji-hun. I really liked the girl as well. Like I said, I can't really remember her name. I liked the Indian guy. Those would probably be my top 3 characters. I'll be honest with you, I did really like the old guy, number 1, Oh Il Nam, I think is his name. But, obviously there's that twist at the end, which honestly, I don't know how I feel about it. I wasn't going to talk about the ending yet, but I guess I will get into my thoughts on the ending of Season 1. And obviously this isn't the ending of the show, so it's not as crucial that it's like perfect in my eyes. But, it was just a little off-putting, I think, after like how much they played him up as like this nice old guy that was so caring and that kind of sacrificed himself for Seong Ji-hun in the end when they were playing that marble game. And just the whole time, like, he had like this extra get up to his step and this joy on his face that you didn't see in the other characters. I thought it was just because he was like old and had nothing to lose, but it seemed like it was literally because he was having fun, because he knew that he wouldn't die, because he was in charge of the whole thing. I thought that was just not really a twist that I liked. I don't like when I necessarily like follow a character and like I'm with them for that long. Like, that was an extended period of time that we thought he was just like this innocent old guy, and really he's like the evil mind behind all of this. I think it's I realize it's supposed to be a big twist for the audience, but I think it's a little too deceiving for my liking. Certainly I also liked the showdown between Song-woo and Seong Ji-hun. I thought their fight was really epic. Once again, even just within that, 10-minute fight between the two of them playing the actual Squid Game, there were a lot of different outcomes that I expected that didn't. They really throw you for a loop multiple times just within that fight. At first, I thought Song-woo was in great position to win with Seong Ji-hun on the ground, and then Seong Ji-hun bites his ankle, and that really turns the tables in the fight. And then I think Seong Ji-hun is really gonna, stab Song-woo right in the chest or right in the throat or whatever for the knockout kill. And then he says he can't do it. And then I think they're both going to survive or that Song Woo is going to turn on Seong Ji Hun again because, Seong Ji Hun is like, okay, just join me, we'll both live, I can't kill you. And Song Woo ultimately decides to take his life because he doesn't want to live if he can't get that money, because I just think he knows how miserable his life is, outside of the games. And if you don't remember, because you haven't seen season 1 for a while, Song Woo is in what seems like millions of dollars of debt, and he's, gonna be taken to prison probably for like tax fraud and tax evasion. So, if he doesn't win this money and pay off his debts, he's basically just screwed and gonna have a very low quality life for the rest of his life outside the games. So he thought that, taking the vote with Seong Ji Hun to remove themselves from the games was just pointless for him, because he's either gonna die here or he's gonna win with the money, because that was the whole point of this to begin with. So that final scene there, I really loved. I thought it was great with so many twists and turns, kept me on my toes as an audience member. That gets a big thumbs up from me. I just don't know how I feel about the whole Oh Il Nam, the number one old guy, being like the head guy of all this. Like, he created the Squid Games apparently just because him and his rich friends, a half century ago, were bored and wanted to have fun with all their money. That's a bit crazy for me. I'm not sure I love that origin story and motive, but I guess it's alright. I realize it does tie it to a character I know from the show, so in that regard it's interesting. I was just hoping there was more of a reason or an ancient history to these Squid Games, not just some guy did it for fun. But I guess it kind of tries to teach us a lesson about humanity and the difference between certain people, and it's depicting some upper class folks in a certain light, that basically they're just feeding their ego and their, highest urges, and, they get bored and want to do crazy stuff. So I don't know. I was a bit mind blown by it, but not necessarily in a good way or in a way that I liked. And also, after a season of so much death and despair, I was hoping that once Seong Ji Hun got out of the Squid Games and got back home, I was hoping there could be a few more lighthearted moments, a few uplifting messages, and just some feel good moments for him. But it seems like he's kind of just depressed and having an awful time after his experience for the next year. We don't even see him get to see his daughter. At the very end of the season, he's hopping on a plane to go visit her in the United States where she now lives, and he doesn't even go because he's turning back to, I guess, get his vengeance on the people of, behind the Squid Games, seemingly. I guess I'll find out soon in season 2. He returns home and his mom is dead. I mean, really, there just wasn't even much happiness even after he wins. I thought it would be, okay, there's this weight off the shoulders of our main character, and maybe a little bit of the anxiety can rise off the audience as well, but it really didn't. He, like I said, returns home, his mom is dead, he doesn't see his daughter. It seems like he's going to go back to the Squid Games. The only good thing that does happen is he gets in touch with the girl from the games, her her brother, like he said he would, and gives him and Song Woo's mom a huge suitcase full of money. So that was a positive thing, and that made me feel good for a total of 4 minutes. But other than that, it was just heartache the entire season, basically, and including the finale of season 1. So yeah, all in all, I can say I'm a Squid Games fan right now. I enjoyed season 1. It was a really fun experience watching it start to finish. Like I said, I didn't necessarily love the conclusion of season 1 and how Oh Il Nam was behind everything. I kind of liked the character that he played, the fun-loving old man that was just enjoying his last moments on Earth and just super, this, kind of pinnacle of kindness in the show. But it turned out that was just all just a farce. But yeah, altogether, I like the show. It has incredible action, incredible mystery, even, just the music that plays, when you see some of the workers with the triangles, squares, and circles, some of the workers of the Squid Games, obviously the guy in charge in the black suit, I forget his name, the headman or something. I thought he had a cool mystique around him. The show just has if I'm going to use a modern term, it has aura to it for sure. But yeah, good characters, even though most of them are dead except our main character. Really interesting plot that keeps twisting and turning throughout. So that's really enjoyable. Great action. get some, good deep character moments, some good dialogue. I love that type of stuff. This doesn't have as much as other shows I watch, and that's usually what I'm attracted to, but I'm fine getting out of my comfort zone here. And yeah, altogether, really entertaining show, and I enjoyed season 1 and look forward to season 2. Let me know in the comments if you've seen season 2 already, if it's better, worse, or about equal to season 1. I'm going to be starting it here in the next couple days, so I'm interested to see what I'm getting myself into. But that's all I got for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed my review and some of my thoughts on Squid Game season 1. And once I get done with season 2, I'll be following it up with another video on that as well. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.